Breaking news just into our newsroom. Authorities in Pulaski County are searching the Ohio River right now for a man they believe to be dead. You can hear some country grammar at the DuQuoin State Fair. Fair organizers announced this morning Nelly will headline the grandstand lineup. They've spent all day handing out these flyers all across town, searching for Patrice. There are about 1,000 of these. Siding here, roofing, everything is scattered across the ground, and there's a lot more to be done. As you mentioned, just take a look at this house, the entire side blown off. Rain though, is that going to wash out any maybe allergens that are there? I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah, right, I've noticed.
So what should you do if you think you've downloaded a malicious app? Well, first, experts say delete it. What we know tonight is that suspect is in custody, 31-year-old James Cummings, and that no one else was injured after that shooting this morning, just the trooper and the deputy, who both were wearing their bulletproof vests, and that they are both okay tonight. That's why crews are working hard to pump all that water that's seeped past the levee back out into the Mississippi River. Preparing the food for all the hungry folks that are coming out here to welcome home those 65 veterans. One of those is this food truck here. This is the Red Onion, and just take a close look at this. It smells as good as it looks, guys. We don't want to leave you hanging, John, so there we go. All right.
I wasn't going to call you out.
Yeah, that report comes from a former Inspector General under Governor Bruce Rauner, and it details an investigation into 3 different issues. News 3's Joe Ragusa joins us now. Joe, what did that report investigate? Storms moved out of our region this evening, leaving us with this really pretty sunset.
Some gorgeous colors in.
Now to a death investigation. Missouri authorities are working to identify a woman they found dead inside a submerged car. The Butler County Sheriff's Department confirmed an investigation is underway. Clark Parrott with the Missouri State Highway Patrol tells us that car was found in the St. Francis River this afternoon around 1:30. Parrott says the license plate on that vehicle matched one reported missing back in April. He believes the car may have been in a crash. Poplar Bluff police are asking for your help in tracking down a suspect they say stole money from a restaurant. Just take a look at this surveillance video. This is from the Lemonade House Grill on North Westwood Boulevard. You can see here that suspect wearing a hoodie runs in and starts going through drawers before finding the cash register. If you have any information, contact police. Still ahead, a new bill could get diabetes medication into the hands of students more easily. We'll show you how. Stacks of debris pile up quickly. What a tornado ripped apart Thursday, piece by piece, was picked up Friday.
This is pretty much the direction the tornado came through.
Mark Holmes' house took a direct hit.
You know, the neighbor, when he first called, said it looked like part of the roof was gone, and I was thinking, well, that won't be too bad. I'll go check on it. And then, of course, once I turned in the driveway, it was like, oh, that's a little bit more than a little roof.
From downed fencing and tree limbs on the outside,
The dining room set was a wedding gift from my mom and dad.
to shattered windows and belongings thrown everywhere inside.
It's hard to imagine even building it back, but who knows? I'm probably not the worst damaged house, I imagine.
About a dozen homes have a similar scene. Debris such as shingles and glass and much bigger items just scattered throughout their yards. While these homeowners tell me this is a devastating scene, they say it's their neighbors who are helping them get through it.
It's just a blessing to have everybody here.
10-year-old Lily rolled up her sleeves to help here.
My grandparents' house has just been there all my life.
The tornado tore off the roof and toppled this large tree. Lily's grandfather was home at the time.
I started crying and I just had to see my grandparents, and so when I knew they were okay, I just started helping them.
He was very shaken up.
Larry McGregor's dad also experienced that frightening moment.
He saw just a piece of board, whatever, from the neighbor's house just flying, whatever, and next thing you knew, it hit. He was keeping that door closed, just hanging on for dear life.
But no one inside any of these homes was hurt.
The Lord was watching him, I guess. So it's a miracle.
The focus now is on recovery.
It's bad, don't get me wrong, it's bad, but you know, there's always tomorrow and nobody's hurt. Yeah. So, like I said, we'll rebuild, we'll go on. Life's a 4-letter word, so don't ever forget that.
In Paducah, Carolyn Cerda, News 3. Oh, absolutely, Mark. This is definitely the happy ending. Family, friends, and a bunch of volunteers had been praying for and working to find all day and last night as well. Now tonight, the family is finally all together after a terrifying 20 hours apart, and it was a joyous reunion. Tight hugs and sweet kisses.
Everybody missed you so much.
The Dotson family is overjoyed to once again hold 7-year-old Patrice in their arms.
Are you happier with your family?
Yep.
The second grader, whose family says has a mental disability, now back home, the place she disappeared from nearly 24 hours earlier.
No, I haven't slept. I can go to sleep now.
Patrice's mother, Cinceria Dotson,
I'm blessed.
says a sense of relief fell over her the moment she was reunited with her daughter.
I just ran over there. She was just excited to see me as I was to see her.
I'm so excited that she's alive and well. She's a little beat up, but I thank God she's alive.
Patrice's grandfather drove 6 hours down from Chicago Monday night the moment he learned she was missing. And he wasn't alone.
If you are a volunteer, I need you to sign in, please.
In addition to police, more than 100 volunteers band together to search for Patrice.
They were coming from everywhere. There were people here from last night. When I got here 2 o'clock in the morning, stayed with us to about 9 o'clock. Then a new group came in.
And their efforts paid off. Just before 2 Tuesday afternoon, a volunteer found Patrice about 2 miles from her home in a wooded area, unharmed.
Say thank you, everybody.
Now that the frantic search is over, the healing begins.
Try to help Patrice overcome this traumatic experience.
An experience that couldn't wipe away this little girl's smile.
She has a very loving and happy spirit. So this little bump in the road for her, it didn't kill her. It didn't kill her spirit at all. She still remains the happy person that she is. And this situation couldn't break her.
In Carbondale, Carolyn Cerda, News 3. Supposed to be a routine job for law enforcement, serving an eviction notice around 10 Friday morning.
You never know what's going to happen whenever you get to that doorway.
Turned into a violent scene.
They just went there to serve the papers. The individual, came to the door and began shooting at the deputies. It was unprovoked.
A Missouri highway trooper and a Carter County deputy were hit. Then the gunman barricaded himself inside the home, creating a standoff with officials that lasted 7 hours.
They was not expecting that to happen. They was going to go there and knock on the door before they even get on the porch. The gunfire comes from inside the house. So yeah, ambush would be a good terminology for that.
Dozens of Missouri state troopers and deputies were on scene surrounding the house, trying to get the suspect to negotiate with them to come outside. But it wasn't until SWAT showed up around 5 o'clock. That's when the suspect surrendered.
After several minutes of communications, he voluntarily walked out of the residence onto the front porch with his hands up and surrendered peacefully.
Troopers identified the suspect as James D. Cummings from Van Buren. In addition to his eviction, the 31-year-old now faces charges for shooting 2 law enforcement officials.
That's something as a law enforcement officer we always have in the back of our mind that can happen to us, and we just pray every day when we go to work that it doesn't happen.
The trooper injured was treated and released from a hospital. The deputy is in stable condition at a St. Louis hospital. Both are expected to recover. In Carter County, Missouri, Carolyn Cerda, News 3.